Maybe you're intrigued by the French way of eating because it seems really healthy and pleasurable, and let's face it, so many things that French women do are just so enviable. But you're not really sure how to make it work for you, and perhaps that's because you're not French and you don't live in France. So if any of that sounds familiar, then this video is for you. If you're new to me, I'm Dr. Kim Foster and I'm an MD turned coach. I've also owned a second home in France since 2008, which is 14 years ago at this point. So we go over to France and Europe more or less every year, excluding the pandemic, of course. But over those years, I have learned a lot of things about how French people eat through my observations and my experiences, and I'm going to share those with you today because the truth is you don't have to live in France to benefit from this approach. You don't even have to travel to France to benefit. You can adopt these ideas wherever you happen to live. It's not about becoming a French woman. I myself will never be a French woman, but it's more about being inspired by the beautiful way that they live their lives and adopting certain habits because it's a smart thing to do and it will help you to live a longer, happier, healthier life. And we all deserve that, whether we happen to be born in France or not. So let's get into it. Here are 3 ways that you can adopt a French way of eating no matter where you live. So the first one is seasonal cooking. Now, this is a back to basics approach that really served all of us well a few generations ago, but that we've really gotten away from because, of course, of modern conveniences. French women don't own this approach, but from what I can see, they definitely do practice it even today. Seasonal cooking is very popular in France. People often go to the market to buy what's in season, and in fact, most people buy their food fresh every day or every other day. They don't stock up on weeks of food at a time. They just buy a day or two's worth of food and then they buy it fresh because they're often shopping at local markets, which also means that they're buying local and seasonal. So cooking what's in season means that you're maximizing the nutritional value of your food and you're minimizing your exposure to preservatives and all those things that would keep out of season food fresh. So you can do this wherever you are. It's also a really nice way to form community bonds because when you're shopping at local markets and you're buying what's in season, you're connecting with your local community and you'll see people regularly because you're going to be popping in there frequently. Even if you do a lot of your shopping at supermarkets, you can still follow a seasonal approach and just look for fruits and vegetables that you know are in season. All right, tip number 2 is slow eating. In France, people eat slowly. Lunch is a very important part of the day, and the French truly do treat their meals as sacred. They protect their meal times. This is not something to rush through. It's definitely not something to do as you're on the move or doing other things. French people rarely eat on the go. They have long, home-cooked meals and a 1 or 2 hour lunch every day, even at work or at school. They always sit down to a table to eat, never gobbling down their food in their car or on the couch or while walking around. And this allows them to eat mindfully and savor every bite rather than just wolfing down their food in a matter of minutes because they're starving and they don't really have much time for their meal. Enjoying meals as a family is also very important in France. Mealtime is a time for gathering together to talk about your day and to really enjoy good food together. So all of these principles are things that you can adopt too. Start by creating a standard for yourself that you are going to eat at a table. You're going to kick the habit of eating on the go and eating quickly. Take your time, really enjoy the smells of the food and the look of the food, and elevate your meals so that they are pleasurable experiences with friends or family, not just a necessary task to complete as quickly as possible. It's much better for digestion and it's much better for portion control. It's just a much more pleasurable, mindful way to live. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Cultivate a healthy relationship with food. In general, French women have a much better relationship with food than North American women. They take a lot of pleasure in eating and they enjoy their meals and they aren't obsessed with food. You generally won't find a French woman counting calories or otherwise engaging in a very complicated, restrictive fad diet. It's just not a very popular thing to do. Eating is a pleasure, as we just talked about, but they don't spend all day thinking about it because they also don't snack or eat between meals. They're not constantly thinking about food. They eat their meals, they enjoy their meals, and then they live their lives in between those eating times. In contrast, many North American women are consumed with thinking about food, resisting it, having a lot of conflict over it, and seeing it as something other than what it is. Specifically, we often treat food as a reward or a comfort or things along those lines. French women see food as a pleasurable way to nourish their body and stay healthy, but that's it. And that means no inner conflict over food. North American women tend to have this love-hate relationship with food, which leads to a lot of dysfunction. French women have a love-love relationship with food, but it's just food. And there's a lot of pleasure to be found in life besides what you'll get from food. It's just a much healthier relationship. And this is something that you can work towards too. So my recommendation to begin with is to only eat during meal times and to try to not revolve your whole day around food. No eating in between, no obsessing over food, and fill your day with other productive or pleasurable activities. And when you do eat, enjoy it. Take pleasure in it. Don't beat yourself up over eating. You're supposed to eat, and you need to eat, and you're allowed to enjoy it. But when you're not eating, live your life. Don't think about food constantly. This will definitely take some practice, but you will find that it becomes second nature with time. There, of course, is a lot more to talk about when it comes to eating and living in a French-inspired way, but I will save that for future videos. So let's just recap what we talked about. The first approach is seasonal cooking, which means buying local, in-season food, buying smaller amounts of fresh food every few days, rather than stocking up on weeks of food that's either packaged or highly processed so that it lasts that long. The second is slow eating, which means no eating on the go or in your car or while you're walking down the street. Sit at a table, take your time, and enjoy your meal with friends and family. And the third factor is a healthy relationship with food, meaning enjoy your food, yes, and give yourself permission to eat nourishing, delicious food without inner conflict over it. And then when you're not having a meal, live your life. Don't snack between meals, don't constantly think about food, and don't make food be something it's not. Healthy relationships have boundaries, and you need boundaries with food. It's not therapy, it's not a reward, it's not punishment, it's just food. Now, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and I'm curious, do these ideas resonate with you? Does this way of eating appeal to you? I'd love to hear about it, and I would love to hear about which of these ideas you're going to work on first. Okay, that's a wrap for this video. Take care, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again very soon.